as much as we've progressed with rocking our natural hair and growing our hair the way it grows up on our scalp, there's a lot of things that we have not changed as far as our mindset, or we have not unlearned to help us the rest of the way. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Cherie with another video. Thank you so much to all my natural beauties who continue to watch, who have subscribed, and if you are new here, welcome. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe and you like the video. So we're just gonna get right into today's topic. As you can see from the video that you clicked on, we are going to discuss why your hair is chronically dry. And I think this is one of the most, if not the second most, probably the first most common question is, why is my hair not growing? And we already addressed that. And if you have not seen that video yet, please go ahead and check it out. I will link it in the cards and in the video description box below. But second to that complaint, I believe, why is my hair so dry, is the most frequent complaint as a natural. And this can go for newly transitioned naturals as well as some seasoned naturals. I think some seasoned naturals may experience this, but may not really realize what the problem is, and over time it becomes a problem and they blame it on other things when it really can easily be solved with one major change. And we're gonna get right on into that. I remember reading a comment or a post one day, I believe it was in one of the hair groups online. The sister was just asking for help with her hair. She didn't know what to do. It was always dry, and that it soaked up or ate up grease. And I'm like, your hair's eating up grease? Like, wait, why are we still putting grease on all of our hair in 2019? First of all, that was my first question, but that's neither here nor there. Everybody is in a certain mindset based on what their prior experience was, based on what they've been taught, based on what their parents told them to do, or how their parents treated their hair. And you get people from varying levels of knowledge about their hair. And, that's where I like to come in and help and offer my assistance. So number one, what are you putting on your hair? Your hair is constantly dry, but what are you doing to combat dryness? And if your answer is you're applying moisturizers to your hair, I'm gonna ask, well, what do you apply to your hair as a moisturizer? Because your number one moisturizer, and you guys already know what I'm going to say. You've been watching my channel for a little bit now. You know what I'm going to say. Your number one moisturizer is water. Hello. And when you start relying on other things to moisturize your hair, products, conditioners, gels, moisturizing gels, and just the like, butters, oils. Let's just break it on all the way down. Because I hear like, oh, I add, oil, coconut oil to moisturize my hair, and I add shea butter to moisturize my hair. And I'm like, hold on 1 second. So we have to break everything all the way down, because as much as we've progressed with rocking our natural hair and growing our hair the way it grows up on our scalp, there's a lot of things that we have not changed as far as our mindset, or we have not unlearned to help us the rest of the way. And that is what products are made for, how they were made to work with your hair, and what they were not made for. let's get into the butters and the oils. Let's get into using, shea butter and olive oil, coconut oil, and silicones even, and talk about what those things are. Like I prefaced everything a few minutes ago by saying water is the number one source of hydration and moisture. So water should be the first thing you reach for. And not saying that water can do this alone. It can fight half the battle for you if you are experiencing severe chronic dryness. So when you add other products onto your hair and you have not added sufficient moisture or sufficient amounts of water, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And I say that because most of the products that we use in our hair, if you read your directions, sis, were formulated to work on wet and or damp hair. They were not formulated to go, unless it specifically says on the label, apply to wet or dry hair or damp or dry hair, then you can go ahead and use it as you may. These products that you can apply on dry hair, I'm pretty sure 99% of the time that they have water as a first ingredient, and there is a lot of water in that product that can actually apply some water and moisture to your hair where you don't have to already saturate your hair for it to work properly. If the product does not say that, sis, if it does not have water as one of the main ingredients on there, I would proceed with caution. I would make sure your hair is saturated or at least dampened enough with water. The reason why these products were created and formulated to work with already wet hair is because this is when your cuticle is opened up and ready to receive moisture and receive product and act on your hair to do whatever it is that you need to do. So if you need to condition it, if you need to style it, and these products suggest starting on wet or damp hair, that's the way it's going to work best for your hair. So if you decide to pile products onto your hair when your hair is dry, and that is not the suggestion or advice on the directions on the label or whatever it is that you're reading, keep in mind that you're just going to add products. It's not going to feel hydrated or moist because you don't have water in your hair. And you're going to add a little bit more product because you're like, well, dang, maybe I'm not putting enough. That's where we get heavy-handed too. Maybe I'm not putting enough. Let me add more. And you're piling products on top of product on top of products on your hair. And that is going to create product buildup. Guess what results from that?
More dry hair.
Yes, more dry hair. So these products that you believe are hydrating and moisturizing your hair, and you continue to pile them on without a sufficient base of water underneath it, are going to create even more dryness for your hair. So this is one of the things that we have to stop. We cannot forget to put water on our hair. I feel like somewhere along the way, naturals, like, I don't know when it happened. I feel like I was missing from the scene for a while, so maybe you guys can tell me when this happened. But at some point, or maybe we never realized it, and then we just really got lost. But at some point, water just took a back seat. Like, you gotta wash your hair with water, and then after that, like after wash day, like you don't need water anymore. I don't know where this happened. And I know there was like this maximum hydration movement that started, a few years back, and everybody's like, oh, we're not putting enough. I don't know if water was the term that was used, but your hair looks dry, your hair looks like whatever it looks like because you're not putting enough moisture, that's probably what it was, moisture in your hair. And I seen videos where naturals were just piling on the products and piling on, more and more and more conditioner. And just so they can get that shine and that sheen and that definition that they're looking for, which is great. But if you're not putting water underneath that, then you're doing a disservice to your hair, because eventually all of that product is going to dry out, and then you're going to be left with product and nothing protecting your strands underneath, just dry product, most likely flaking, and nothing else. And so we started grabbing and reaching for all these products, everything they throw in our face, and water just kind of got left behind. Well, let me remind you of something, and let me introduce to you the product that your hair cannot live without. If you want to have moisturized, soft hair, all of those other products that you're picking up is not going to compare to this. Let me hold on. Let me go find. This is it. It's just plain, just H2O in this bottle. This is what your hair has been looking for. This will make all of those products that you grab off the shelves work like new. I promise you. Just pick up some water, sis. Okay, so enough of the dramatic. I just, I was sitting there and I read this, and there's some other things that I watched online the other day, and it just kind of sent me on a tangent about this, because I was like, if you were putting enough water in your hair before you apply that product, it will work better. It says make sure your hair is wet or damp or saturated. I see people trying out new products. The products don't work because it's flaking out, or it's really drying, or it's not moisturizing their hair. And I'm like, the product isn't meant to moisturize your hair. It can aid in sealing in the moisture, but it has to work with what you already have in your hair. And if you don't have any water in your hair, then it has nothing to work with. And then it's going to feel dry, and it's going to flake up. And then you're going to determine that, this doesn't work, or this sucks, or doesn't work for me. And people are out here doing reviews on people's products, affecting people's brands, but they don't know how to apply a product to their hair properly. They don't know how to follow directions. Like, that is really mind-blowing to me. I'm not going to go off on a tangent or a rant about that, but do you know how to apply products, sis? That's going to be another video. We're going to get into that, how to properly apply product, because there is major mishandling of products I see every single day. Every time I turn on the video on YouTube, I'm like, yeah, it's not working because you doing it wrong. The sister that said her hair just eats up grease. Oils, butters, and greases cannot moisturize your hair. They do not contain water. It's not possible. They do not contain the molecules that attach to your hair strands and provide moisture to them. They, for the most part, are sealants, and sealants are substances that are used to block the passage of fluids, which includes water. And so certain sealants can actually make your hair waterproof and make your strands airtight. And that means that water, if you were trying to apply water, if you applied a very thick, heavy oil, or you use something with silicone in it, water cannot get back in. So once your cuticles close back up and you apply this barrier of oil, if you spray water on it, sis, nothing's gonna happen. No water is getting back in here. And this is why there is a need for sulfates or some kind of clarifying agent when you do eventually wash your hair. There isn't anything particularly wrong with using oils and butters. They can be definitely beneficial. They can definitely lock in moisture within your cuticle because they can penetrate your hair. Some of them can penetrate your hair strands. And so they can be useful to lock in moisture. However, if you are consistently oiling your hair, I don't know why we still oil our scalp, because our scalp produces oils, but that's a whole nother topic. I can see for topical reasons or if you're having some other concerns, but if you're trying to moisturize your hair, putting heavy oils and butters on your scalp where your follicles need to breathe is not the way to do it. If you have hair that is already hydrated with water, butters and oils, and even silicones can work with that. Coat your hair strands and lock in that moisture. But you will have to use sulfate shampoos or some kind of clarifying shampoo, or maybe even a clay mask, to remove all of that product off so that your hair can accept moisture in. One of the reasons why when I do my wash day, before I do a clay rinse or before I do an apple cider vinegar rinse, I let my hair soak in the water is because it is a natural cleansing agent and it opens up my hair cuticles so that I can receive whatever this cleansing shampoo, and I don't really use shampoos anymore, but whatever the African black soap is what I alternate with between the clay washes. So whatever it is that I'm adding onto my hair, I give my hair the advantage of being open to receive it because I've rinsed off excess product buildup, and then I'm going to wash it away with whatever I'm using to clarify my hair. But that initial rinse off of warm water is going to help loosen up my hair strands, open up the cuticle, and allow for those products to work. And while you're in the shower, when you're conditioning, you rinse out your conditioner. I don't even do conditioner. It's like kind of like clarifying shampoo or clarifying soap or clay. Deep condition, because that will help lock in and seal in that moisture as well. And a leave-in conditioner. When you're applying that, it's best to do it inside the shower. While you're there soaking up the water, put the leave-in conditioner on top of that because that will aid in moisturizing your hair. And it is meant to go on hair that is very hydrated, very damp, or even wet, depending on what directions product says on the package. But it will help aid in that. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to end up by saying this. If you're constantly having issues with your hair being dry, if you feel like you're adding grease and oil and butters and all these things on top of your hair, and it is just soaking it in, and it looks even drier after you do that, then you may want to check out your technique. And you may want to back away from the product for a second. Do yourself a favor. Give yourself a clean slate. Do a clay mask. Do an apple cider vinegar rinse first. Try maximally. Try adding the maximum amount of water that you can get into your hair before you apply another product, especially your leave-ins and some of these twisting, gels or creams or things like that. Check out what it says. Just because you've used several gels and puddings and custards and they've kind of worked in the same way doesn't mean they all work in the same way. Some of them are formulated to work in a specific way. You could be doing yourself and the products and the brand a disservice if you're not putting adequate moisture on your hair before you apply these products. So just try that out for a change. See if it helps you. I feel like there's a stigma from like maybe relaxed days, and we like still don't want to put water on our hair. I don't know if other people feel like that may be the issue. I don't know why, but we can moisturize our hair with water. Nothing's gonna happen to it when it's gonna revert. If you're trying to avoid reversion, that's a whole nother thing. But I wouldn't go more than a week or two without adding some kind of moisture from water back into my hair. If there's a product that is mainly water that you're adding, that can work as well. But you really do need to consider adding more water into your hair. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. I was really thinking about this the other day. It was really concerning me. I'm like you're having this problem because you're not putting enough water. And then you put in too much product. And then, yeah. Just before you apply, reach for your H2O. We all got this little fancy, cute Mister bottle. Use it. And if this is not doing enough, I told y'all what I do. I get my big pour bowl and I'll dip my hair in. You've seen me do it here before. Because I know, based on what this says on the directions, product A, B, or C that I'm using, I need my hair to be wet. So we have to take care and do specific things to actually make sure we have moisturized hair properly before we add product on top. We don't want buildup. That leads to more dryness and at least more breakage. And if you have issues, if you have problems with your water, because maybe you are moisturizing, maybe you're drinking enough water, but maybe your water is hard or, it's calcified or it's rusted. You may have to do some special things. You may have to switch to purified water, or try adding a apple cider vinegar rinse to your regimen. I rambled on enough. Hopefully you guys got the point. Let me know if you understand, or let me know if you agree or you disagree. How do you feel? Do you put enough water on your hair before you put those products on? Are you reading the directions? Anyway, hope this was helpful. If it was, please feel free to share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And also like, comment, and subscribe. Again, thank you so much to all my new subscribers. Welcome to my channel, Natural Beauties. Until I see you again, please continue to live out loud on your truth and let your light shine.